Welcome to Rising Parent, your go-to podcast for unlocking your child's inner superhero. I'm your host, Edna, and I'm here to help you build a fortress of self-esteem around your little one. But first, please subscribe to our podcast. It helps us to provide valuable content that will support you on your parenting journey. In this episode, Tim and I will be diving deep into the world of self-esteem and exploring practical strategies to boost your child's confidence. From positive reinforcement to self-care, we've got you covered. So grab your favorite beverage and get ready to empower your child to conquer the world.
Hey there. Ready to unlock a parenting superpower?
I like that.
Right. We're going deep on how to build your kids' self-esteem this time.
Yes.
Which, let's be real, it's like giving them a suit of armor for life.
It really is.
Right.
A suit of armor for life, yeah.
And to help us out, we're going straight to the experts, which I always love,
Of course.
for some practical advice, stuff you can use today.
Absolutely love it.
So, to kick things off, we're diving into this fantastic article from Nemours Kids Health.
Okay.
Have you heard of them?
I have, yeah. They're great.
They're like the rock stars of
Yeah.
children's health.
Yeah, for sure.
And we've also got this really, really cool YouTube video from Mental Health Center Kids, all about building those positive coping skills, to help kids thrive.
I love that, yeah.
And the Nemours article, they start strong right out the gate, reminding us that, surprise, surprise, parents,
Yeah.
we're like the architects of our kids' self-esteem.
100%.
From day one.
It's true.
It's they're born, and we're already
laying the foundation, right?
laying the foundation. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's a big responsibility.
It is a huge responsibility.
Yeah.
And, it's not just the words we say, right? It's
It's everything.
It's everything. It's the music of our voice,
Yeah.
the way we move our body, even those little eyebrow raises
Yes.
that, we might not even realize you're doing. Our kids are picking up on it.
They're little sponges, aren't they?
They're like little emotional detectives.
Yes.
Right.
Constantly observing.
Yes.
Absorbing.
Yeah.
So it's huge, right, for us to, as, the grown-ups in the room, to be mindful
Right.
of what we're putting out there.
Right. Are we modeling that confident, positive energy?
Exactly.
Because, it's like they're always watching and always learning.
They are, yeah. They're always watching.
Always.
Taking notes.
Yes, exactly.
Little notepads.
And you know what I love about the Neighbors article?
What's that?
Is they get so practical.
Okay.
They give nine concrete tips for parents.
Oh, nice. I like it.
And I wrote down a couple because they were so good.
Okay.
The first one that really stuck with me
Okay.
was about praise. So instead of just saying oh, you're so smart,
Right.
when they, ace a test,
Yeah.
they were suggesting I am so proud of how hard you worked on that project.
Yes.
Yeah.
It makes such a difference
I know.
when we can highlight the effort, the process.
Right. It's not about the trophy.
Yeah.
At the end, it's about
A journey.
the journey.
Yeah.
And all the bumps along the way.
Exactly, because that's real life, right?
Yeah.
We want them to know that it's okay to make mistakes, that it's okay to
Right.
struggle sometimes.
Right. It's not always going to be
It's not going to be perfect.
perfect. Right.
Yeah.
So it's we're nurturing that growth mindset,
Exactly.
that you're always learning. You can always improve no matter what.
100%.
And I think that's such a powerful message for kids.
It is.
So instead of saying, oh, you're a natural,
Right.
you could say something like, you practice so hard for that. You're like a learning machine.
I love that, yeah.
Celebrate that.
Celebrate the effort.
Yes.
The dedication.
The grit.
Oh, the grit.
Yes.
I love that word.
Those are the qualities
Yeah.
that lead to true success in life.
Yes.
Not necessarily just, oh, you were just born with it.
Right. Exactly.
That doesn't get you very far.
No, it doesn't.
In the real world,
No, not at all.
it's about, can you, pick yourself back up when you fall down?
Right. Exactly.
Can you keep going when things get tough?
Yes.
That's what we want to nurture. And this actually ties into another point they make in the article about being a role model, which I think is so important.
Oh, absolutely.
Because kids are little copycats.
They are. They're watching everything we do.
I know. It's scary, right?
It is scary.
Especially when it comes to our, attitudes and behaviors.
Mm-hmm.
So, even if you are
Yes.
scrubbing burnt food off a pan, which I do a lot.
We've all been there.
Oh, I know. I'm the queen of it.
Yes.
But you got to try to find the humor in it, right?
Absolutely.
Like, oh, well, this is fun.
Yes. Model that for them.
Right.
Because we all have those moments, right?
Yes.
Where we're like, I'm not sure I'm cut out for this parenting gig.
Right. Every day.
Every day.
Yeah.
But it's about how do we handle those challenges?
Right. With, grace, a little laughter, a little bit of like, yeah, a sense of humor. Okay, I'm going to get through this.
Yeah. We're all in this together.
Exactly.
And they see that. They feel that.
Yes.
And it gives them permission to do the same.
Exactly. And, speaking of things that kids are naturally drawn to,
Okay.
another great point that they make is about focusing on strengths.
Yes.
Because every kid, I truly believe this, every kid has their own unique
Absolutely.
talents and gifts and things that they're just like naturally good at.
100%.
Right.
And I think sometimes, as parents, we can get so caught up.
I know, right.
Like, okay, what do they need to improve on?
Right. Exactly.
And we forget to really celebrate and shine a light on what they're already amazing at.
Right. Like what comes naturally to them? Where did they shine?
Exactly.
Sure.
So yeah, instead of just focusing on, okay, you need to work on your math skills.
Right.
Let's also remember that this child is, maybe a master builder with Legos.
Yes.
Or, they're incredible at solving puzzles.
Right. Or they have this way of...
Or they have a way of making everyone around them feel comfortable.
Yeah.
Like they're just a joy to be around.
Yes. And those are such important skills.
Those are huge.
And they really are.
And those strengths, those can become like their anchors.
Yes.
Especially when they're feeling,
right.
a little unsure of themselves.
Yeah. Or they hit a roadblock.
Exactly.
And they're like, I don't know if I can do this.
Right. And you can remind them, well, remember when you did this.
Right. Exactly.
And you were amazing at it. Like you have this in you.
Yes. Exactly. It's that I'm good at things feeling, which is so important for kids to have.
So important.
Right.
We all need that.
Yes, we all do.
We all need that feeling.
We do. It's like we can give them this like toolkit, right?
Yes.
To battle those self-doubt gremlins.
Yeah, the self-doubt gremlins for sure.
That like pop up.
Oh, they're always lurking, aren't they?
They're always lurking.
Yeah.
And speaking of those gremlins, the Nemours article, they also talk about the importance of avoiding harsh criticism.
Oh, that's so huge.
I know, which can be so hard, right?
Yeah. As parents.
Yeah, it's tough, right? Because we have these high expectations for our kids.
Yes.
And we want them to do well, and we want them to, be successful.
Make us look good.
Yeah, maybe make us look good.
Right.
But we also have to remember that they're still learning.
Yes.
And that criticism, when it's too harsh, it can really...
It's like backfire.
It can really damage their self-esteem.
Yes.
It can make them afraid to try new things.
Yes, it's that. Like,
because they don't want to mess up.
Yes, I don't want to disappoint you.
Exactly.
I don't want to, get in trouble.
Right.
So we want to be constructive.
Yes, constructive.
Right.
Exactly. Like, how can we help them learn from these experiences? Yes. It's like that saying, like, you get more flies with honey or whatever.
Yes, exactly. You attract more bees with honey.
There you go.
Right.
Something like that.
It's much more effective.
Yes.
To be encouraging and supportive than it is to be.
Like, you can get the same message across.
Yeah.
But with,
in a way that's going to land better.
With a spoonful of sugar.
Exactly.
Right.
So, like, instead of saying, why would you do that?
Right. What were you thinking?
That was so careless.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you try something like, hey, I know you're working really hard on being more careful.
Yes.
What do you think we could do differently next time?
Yes.
Like, let's problem solve together.
Right. Turn it into a learning experience.
Exactly. A learning opportunity.
Yeah.
That's what mistakes are, right? Mm. They're opportunities to learn.
And on that note, they also talk about the importance of noticing what goes well.
Oh, I love that.
Which is so hard, right?
It is, because it's so easy to get caught up in,
I know,
like the day-to-day chaos of parenting.
And just like life in general.
Exactly.
That we forget. Pause and like celebrate those little wins.
Yes, those little wins are huge.
They are huge.
And you know what? Our brains are actually wired.
Tell me more.
To focus on the negative.
Oh, no.
I know. It's not fair.
Really?
It's called the negativity bias.
What?
Yeah, our brains are naturally drawn to the negative.
Oh, no.
It's like a survival mechanism
Oh,
from, back in the day.
caveman days.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We needed to be aware of danger
Right.
to survive.
So we don't get eaten by a saber-toothed tiger.
Exactly.
Okay.
But the good news is
Okay, good.
we can retrain our brains.
We can.
We can, and we can teach our kids to do the same.
Okay, I like this. How do we do it?
So, like, what if every night at dinner,
Okay.
you each shared one good thing that happened that day?
I love that.
Right.
Like a gratitude practice.
Yeah, exactly.
With the whole family.
And it doesn't have to be anything major.
Right.
It could be something as simple as, I made someone laugh today.
Yes.
Or, I finished that book I was struggling with.
Right. Or I use my manners without being reminded.
Exactly.
All right.
Or, I petted a really cute dog. Like, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Big or small.
I love that. It's like building those positive thought muscles.
Exactly.
Right.
We're intentionally focusing on the good.
Yes.
And that can make a big difference.
And speaking of positive vibes.
Yes.
The article also emphasizes the importance of, healthy friendships.
Oh, 100%.
Which is so key.
Huge.
Right.
Because our kids are spending so much time with their peers.
I know.
And they're so influenced by
Yes.
those relationships.
It's like you are who you surround yourself with, right?
Exactly.
So we want to
we want to surround our kids
surround
with people who lift them up.
Yes.
Who encourage them.
Yes.
Who make them feel good about themselves.
Cheerleaders, not critics, right?
Cheerleaders, not critics. I love that.
And, speaking of those positive people,
Yeah.
let's shift gears for a second and dive into that YouTube video from Mental Health Center Kids.
All right.
Because they have this really interesting take on, like, the link between positive actions and positive thoughts.
I love that.
Which I think, ties in really well.
Yeah, for sure.
With what we were just talking about being a role model, right?
Right, because it's not just what we say.
It's what we do.
It's what we do. It's how we act.
Exactly.
It's, it's walking the walk.
Yes, our actions speak volumes.
They do. They speak louder than words.
And one of the things that they really emphasize in the video is the importance of, like healthy habits, which we all know, but it's always good to be reminded.
It's always good to be reminded.
Right.
Because life gets busy.
It does.
And it's easy to let those things slide.
So true. So, like, we're talking getting enough sleep.
Yes, sleep is so important.
Taking nutritious food.
Food, yes. Fuel your body.
Oh, yes. Fuel your body.
With good stuff.
Right. And staying active.
Movement.
It's like, it's not just about, like, fitting into our genes.
Right.
It's about, like...
It's about so much more than that.
Our mental well-being.
It's about our mental health or emotional well-being.
It's so true.
It's about, having the energy to show up for our lives.
And, like, be present.
Be present, be engaged.
Right, and handle those stressful moments.
Exactly. And when we feel good physically, we feel good mentally.
It's like that
it's all connected.
It's all connected.
Mind, body, spirit.
Yes. Healthy body, healthy mind.
Exactly.
And you know what I thought was really interesting?
What's that?
They use this term, emotional contagion.
Ooh, I like that.
Right.
Emotional contagion.
And it's this idea that, like...
Yeah, tell me more.
Emotions can be contagious.
They can. They totally can.
And I never really thought about it like that before.
Well, it's fascinating, right?
But it's like, if you think about it, if you're like hanging out with somebody who's like super negative and like complaining all the time.
You start to feel it.
You do. It's like
a downer, right?
It brings you down.
Yeah, it's like a dark cloud.
It's like their bad mood becomes your bad mood.
Exactly.
And then on the flip side, if you're with someone who's just like,
radiating positivity and joy.
It's like you catch those good vibes.
You do. It's like a shot of espresso.
Yes.
Like that. You're like, okay, I can do this.
And so they were saying, like, we want to think about that.
Be mindful of that.
Be mindful of the, like, emotional temperature of our homes, of our kids' social circles.
Absolutely.
Are they interacting with people who lift them up or bring them down?
It's so important, and it's something that we have some control over.
Right. And it's not to say that, we can, like, control our kids' every move.
Right. We can't choose their friends for them.
Right. But we can, at least be aware.
Of what's going on.
And we can,
And, like, gently steer them.
Gently steer them in the right direction.
In the right direction, yeah.
And have those conversations, right?
All right.
About, like, how's so-and-so making you feel?
Exactly. Like, how do you feel when you're around this person?
Right.
Are they lifting you up?
Do you feel good about yourself?
Or are they bringing you down? Are
Yeah.
they making you feel, not so great about yourself?
Right.
Because that's a red flag.
It is a red
We
flag.
want to pay attention to those things.
So far we've talked about, healthy habits, positive people. What else does this video highlight?
Well, you know what? They also dive into the power of positive self-talk. You know how our brains can be sometimes?
Oh, tell me about it.
Like, they sound like a broken record player,
Stuck on a repeat.
stuck on repeat
Yep.
with all those, negative messages. I'm not good enough.
I'm going to mess this up.
I'm going to mess this up.
Everyone else is better than me.
Yes.
Ugh, the worst.
The worst, right.
Yeah.
But this video, it gives, some really great tactics
Okay.
to help kids, hit the pause button on those thoughts.
Woo! I like that.
Right.
In the pause.
And then, swap in a more,
Or the better.
a better track, a more empowering,
Yeah, like the what is it?
the soundtrack to their...
Yes, their
Yeah.
inner soundtrack.
Yes.
We want those to be empowering anthems.
Yes, exactly.
Right, not like Debbie Downer music.
Not the sad music. Yeah, we want...
We want the inspirational.
upbeat, inspirational, I got this music.
Yes.
You know?
Exactly. So it's giving them that mental remote control,
Yeah.
right? To
Switch the channel.
switch the channel.
Yes.
From self-doubt theater to
Confidence central.
Confidence Central. I love it.
Right.
Okay, so give me an example.
Okay, so one of the things they talked about was replacing
Yeah.
I can't do this
Uh-huh.
with I can do anything I put my mind to.
Ooh, I love that.
Right.
It's so simple, but
It's so simple,
yeah.
but those little shifts in language,
they make a world of difference.
they really, really do. Because our thoughts, they shape our reality.
You do.
Right.
100%. And,
Yeah.
it's not just about telling our kids what to say.
Right.
It's about modeling that ourselves.
Yes, exactly.
Right.
Because they hear everything.
They hear everything.
They hear everything. They see
They
everything.
do.
So, if we're constantly putting ourselves down,
Yeah.
guess what? They're gonna pick up on that.
They're going to learn that that's how you talk to yourself.
Exactly. So we gotta walk the walk, right?
We do. And,
What else? Oh, the video also emphasized the power of gratitude.
oh, yes, gratitude, which, let's be honest,
It's not just for kids.
no, it's for all of us.
It's for all of us, right?
It's instant mood booster.
Instant mood booster. It's free.
It's
It's easy. Well, it's easier said than done sometimes.
okay. So how do we actually make gratitude a regular thing?
Yes.
Especially for younger kids who aren't, writing in their gratitude journals every day.
Okay. Well, they had some really cool ideas for that.
Okay, good. Lay it on me.
One was to create a gratitude jar.
Ooh, I love that.
Yeah.
Like a visual reminder.
A visual reminder, and everyone in the family can
Write down
write down something they're thankful for each day,
or draw a picture.
or draw a picture,
Yes.
and then you can once a week
Read them together.
empty it out, read them together.
Oh, I love that.
Right.
And it could be something as simple as I'm grateful for sunshine.
Yes.
I'm grateful for my dog.
I'm grateful for my warm bed.
Yes, it doesn't have to be,
Doesn't have to be profound.
profound, right?
Just those little things
The little things.
that we often take for granted.
Exactly. Okay, I love the gratitude jar. What else?
Okay, they also suggested for kids who are into journaling, encourage them to start a gratitude journal.
Okay.
Again, it doesn't have to be, pages and pages.
Right, it can just be a sentence a day.
It could be just a sentence. It could be a couple of words.
Or even a drawing.
Or a doodle. Yeah, whatever works for them.
I love that it's about finding what works for each kid, right?
Exactly.
Because what works for one kid might not work for another.
Exactly. And that's okay.
And it's about making it fun.
Yes.
Right. We don't want it to feel like a chore.
No, we don't want it to feel like homework.
No, exactly.
We want it to feel like something that they look forward to doing.
Yes. And the last thing that they touched on in this video was the importance of, letting go of perfectionism.
Oh, that's a big one.
That is a big one, and it's so hard.
It is so hard, especially
in today's world.
In today's world, right?
With social media.
Social media.
And, everyone's highlight reels.
Everyone's highlight reel.
It's so easy to fall into that trap of comparing ourselves.
Yes, and feeling like we don't measure up.
Yes, everyone else's life is so perfect and mine is a mess.
Exactly.
The reality is
nobody's
perfect.
Nobody's perfect. And those imperfections
They're what make us interesting.
They make us interesting. They make us unique.
They make us
Right.
us. So I love that they emphasize that.
Yeah.
It's about, embracing our mistakes as opportunities
Yes.
to learn and grow.
So learn and grow, not as failures.
Yes.
Right.
Right, because we all make mistakes.
We all make mistakes.
It's part of being human.
It's part of being human, and it's how we learn.
Exactly. So we need to be kind to ourselves
Yes.
and teach our kids to be kind to themselves.
Absolutely.
Even and especially when they mess up.
Especially when they mess up.
Yeah.
Because that's when they need it the most.
Yes, they need that reassurance.
Yes.
That they're still loved.
Yes.
That they're still worthy, even though they made a mistake.
Exactly. It doesn't change who they are.
Wow. We covered a lot of ground today.
We did.
We talked about everything from, the power of praise to the importance of healthy habits.
To the importance of positive self-talk.
Yes, and letting go of perfectionism.
And gratitude. We can't forget gratitude.
Oh, yes, gratitude.
So important.
So if you had to distill it all down to one central message, what would it be?
I think it would be this. Self-esteem isn't something you're born with.
Okay.
It's not like, you come out of the womb
With like a self-esteem meter.
with like a full tank of self-esteem, right?
Right, right.
It's a skill,
It's a skill.
like learning to ride a bike
Okay.
or play an instrument.
I like that analogy.
It takes practice.
Yes.
It takes patience.
And a lot of encouragement.
And a lot of encouragement. And as parents,
Yes.
we have this incredible opportunity
We
to
did.
be our children's biggest cheerleaders
Yes.
on that journey.
That's so good. So as we wrap up this deep dive,
Yes.
we want to leave our listeners with this.
Okay.
What is one small step that you can take today
Yeah.
to nurture your child's self-esteem?
I love that.
Right. Could you swap out that good job
Yeah. Get specific.
for like a more specific observation about their effort, their creativity?
Yes. Tell them what you see.
Right.
Be specific.
Could you share a story about a time you made a mistake and what you learned from it?
Yes.
Because that's huge, right? Like showing them,
Modeling it.
modeling it,
Yeah.
that it's okay to not be perfect.
We're all learning.
Right.
We're all a work in progress.
We are all a work in progress.
And it's okay.
Yes, I love
So
it.
yeah, remember,
Yes.
even small gestures can have a big impact.
They c-
Every little step you take is a deposit into their self-esteem bank account.
Oh, I love that. That's so good.
Right.
So true. So true. Well, thank you
Thank you.
for taking this deep dive with us.
This was fun.
It was fun. It was insightful. And I think we all learned a lot.
I did. I always do.
Me too. And listeners, thank you for joining us for this deep dive.
Until next time.
Keep those minds curious and keep exploring.